Hello again, good friends. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Brian. In the last video, we took a quick look, quick overview of PeelClear paint protection. And that is a sprayable paint protection that is very similar and has some of the same characteristics as paint protection film that comes off of a roll. But instead of pulling it off of a roll and using a squeegee and a slip and tack solution to get it on, PeelClear is sprayed on, and there are some caveats to this. You need a professional spray booth to get the most out of PeelClear. We moved locations into a building that had a booth built into it, so it's not a portable, it's not an inflatable, it's not something thrown together. It was something that was planned for and gives you professional results. And now that we're here, we use it and utilize PeelClear for mirrors and some of your real shapely panels on new vehicles that may show seams or maybe even possibly relief cuts in the film that are put on some of these more complicated panels. PeelClear eliminates any type of seam. It eliminates any type of relief cut and gives you a nice clean paint protection on top of your beautiful paint and protects it against rock chips, some scrapes, minor bumps, and bruises. And when you want it to go, when you're tired of it, you just peel it off. It peels off a lot easier than film from a roll, and you can do cosmetic changes as well. You can do gloss, you could do satin matte stealth, you can do any combination of color that you can really think of. Your imagination is the limit. You can do just a straight up color, you could do metallics. In fact, let's do a little bit of a cosmetic change on this hood, which is just blue right now, and we'll make it like a chameleon color, and I can show you the change. I did take a little bit more time in correcting this panel than last time. Looks a lot better. The panel is not on the car for a reason. It's not perfect, and it's not going to get perfect, but I just want to show you basically what PeelClear is capable of. We are going to let it cure fully. We are going to wet sand. We are going to polish it with you guys up close. Let's get started with the video. Well, the first thing, we had to wash and polish this side of the hood once again. And as you can see, again, it's not perfect. It has chips, it has defects, but we got it shiny again for the most part. And that'll give us an okay layer or base or foundation to spray the PeelClear and play with it a little bit. And we're going to add some metallic flake, give it a chameleon look, and show you what it's capable of. Obviously, I personally do not like to lock imperfections underneath the protection, especially when it's put on clear. And I will do a wash, full decontamination, clay, iron remover, paint correction, and get the paint looking as best as I can before laying this down, using your panel preps and your primers beforehand. So let's spray this back on. We're going to do, once again, just like in the last video, 4 layers of the base, 2 layers of the topper, let it cure fully, and we're going to sand and polish on this and have a little bit of fun. I'm also going to take off the tape here, and we're going to test it. We're going to test its ability to protect paint from rock chips, and we'll see what it does with the unprotected side compared to the protected side, and then we'll peel it off to show you the clear, and the paint underneath is pristine. All right, we are now at about the 24th hour after spraying, and it's going to depend on the environment in your shop, humidity, 24 to 48 hours before you can go ahead and sand and polish. And what I did, guys, is I turned the air pressure down on the gun so the product comes out more clumpy and gives you an orange peel texture. I also cracked open the door just slightly for a second or two. They were mowing outside, so we had some dust come in here. So we do have some dust particles and some orange peel to sand off of here. So we were being a little bit of counterproductive spraying it on. You want to lay it down as nice and clean as possible. But for the video here, we do want to straighten out some imperfections. So we do have orange peel and dust nibs. Here is your cosmetic change from a blue to a chameleon-like paint scheme, green or bronze, depending on the light. You can see all the beautiful metallic flake coming through. You can also see the orange peel effect we laid down just by turning the air pressure down a little bit. That's where the product comes out clumpy and gives you that texture instead of just glassing over the panel. And we do have dust nibs from opening the door and then mowing grass outside. But what a beautiful way to change the look of your vehicle. And we'll talk about how this comes up so easily from your paint when you're tired of it, or if it gets beat up from rock chips. The exact time you need to let go by before cutting and buffing or denibbing, 24 hours on average, and it's going to depend on temperature, humidity, film thickness, whether you used a bait cycle or heat lamps. If the vehicle was sprayed somewhere around 70, 75 degrees and allowed to cure overnight, most of us will go ahead and denib and do some sanding and polishing, some light polishing. 48 hours if you're going to do some really heavy cut and buff processes. For a quick test, just press your fingernail into an area. Let's take this little section right here. We'll do a little bit of wet sanding. We'll cut. We'll polish and show you what can be removed and what can be refined if your spray job did not go as planned, or if you got a little bit of dust mixed in with the procedure. You can see just naturally the top coat does bead like it has a coating on it after it is fully cured. So this is 2000 grit. I'm going to start off with 2000 grit to quickly level off the area and denib, and then we'll move to a 3000 grit disc. You can use sheets, you could do it by hand, you could do it by machine, whatever you are comfortable with. This is my process. Just like when you're sanding clear coat, you're going to see a white frothy substance start running down from the area you're sanding. And it's very similar to clear coat. And every once in a while you want to stop, you want to wipe it off, let it dry a little bit, and check and see if your peaks and valleys have leveled off a bit to your liking. If you want it glass flat, you can certainly keep going until it's glass flat. If you want to make it look like the panel next to it, and most of the substrates on a car, truck, or motorcycle will have a little bit of orange peel. If you want it to match, you just need to go a little bit, stop, go until everything matches or you are happy. So I wanted to stop after the 2000 grit and show you we're already getting a nice crisp reflection just after the 2000 grit. And now we need to step down the 3000 grit, and I'll polish out from there, and we'll show you the finished results. Okay, 3000 grit. So we've done the work with the 2000 grit, removing the texture and denibbing. Now we want to refine the sand marks, because 3000 on its own does not do a whole lot when it comes to removing finish. As I've shown you in many, many wet sanding videos on car paint, 3000 grit is for refining and removing some heavier sand marks. And after the 3000 grit, even more refinement. I mean, as your skills for painting get better, the less sanding you have to do, unless you're having a dust problem. But even on my best day, I would be mediocre. A tip of the hat to all the good painters out there. Mad respect to you. I love painting. I'm just not the best at it. My skills will get better over time. I enjoy the process so much, and I'm so jealous and envious of those that can do this on a daily basis. Cheers, guys. All right, we'll get a medium polishing pad on here. Get the sand disc off. We'll use 3D1, one-step polish, and we can refine this finish even further. All right, so we can go from worst possible scenario to, I stopped right there because that would emulate something with slight orange peel texture. And you can keep going from there. You can make it perfectly smooth if you want to, the glass-like, but this would match a lot of the vehicles that come through here. You could absolutely do that if you want to, but a huge, huge difference, a nice crisp reflection. You could see the metallic flake coming through, and at different lights looks absolutely incredible. Some things to get across that I did mention in the first video. Make sure your masking skills are on point. In a lot of the older videos, I mentioned taping up plastic trim, when you're polishing, and tape it up quickly. You don't have to tape it up like you're painting. When you are taping up and protecting areas in trim that you don't want painted with this stuff, you definitely want to have your skills on point when it comes to masking, and be able to figure out when to peel it off at the right time, so it leaves a nice crisp line behind. And again, 24 hours minimum before you start to wet sand and polish, and you can go as far as you want. I'm going to grab the camera and show you how much thickness of protection we have on here. I'm going to give you a close-up of peeling it off, unlike what I did in the first video. So now you see cosmetic change. You can also do just your clear protection, which is what I use it for. I don't do cosmetic changes as of yet. That may change, except for my personal stuff. I use it for mirrors, bumpers, rear bumpers, diffusers, spoilers, panels on a vehicle that may possibly have relief cuts or seams because they're difficult, and a lot of customers do not want to deal with them, or points where the film can lift. So I use this, and it is a wonderful option. I love painting, even though I'm not absolutely great at it. I will get better over time, but I just love the process and I enjoy this. Just to show you once again the thickness you're going to get out of this, that is plenty to guard from rock chips. So what we'll do is before we peel this off, I'm going to drag this outside and spit some rocks up at it and see how it damages this area and possibly this area, but I'll peel that off to show how it can protect what is underneath. I want to show you this awesome color change in the sunlight. Look at that gorgeous metallic flake. Green, blue, copper, yellow, and then depending on what light it's under, direct sunlight has more of a greenish blue, and in the evening hours it's more of a copper yellow color. Really neat. So here is the damage from rocks getting kicked up. You can see what it did to the paint. Let's peel that up and see how it protected the surface underneath. Does this stuff protect paint? Well, we threw the rocks to put little dents in over there. Huge difference? Absolutely. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. Let's finish peeling the rest of this off. As I often tell the customers that choose paint protection film, it would have to take a rock big enough to put a physical dent in the panel to do damage. Anything smaller than that, the paint protection film does a great job protecting your paint. There is a case where something metal, maybe something really sharp, can get up in there and dig into that protective layer and get to the paint. It is a very small percentage. However, I have film on my vehicle. I have PeelClear on my vehicle, and I would recommend it to anybody. Anybody that's looking for paint protection that is substantial and goes beyond ceramic coatings. Ceramic coatings do a fine job up to a certain point, and then the level of protection drops off, and that's where films and sprayable protection such as this comes into play. This is a lot easier, less effort to rip off, and it does not hurt the surface underneath. Once again, in my setting anyways, perfect for mirrors, bumpers that are complicated, any panel that has a complicated shape to it, where if you're using a sheet of film, there may be a relief cut, there may be some seams, you can get away with that. You can do away with that if you're using PeelClear. I absolutely love it. That's going to be it for this video. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. As you can see, we relocated from the hustle and bustle of a busy highway out to more of a rural setting, and we absolutely love it. And our customers do not seem to mind the view either. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Any comments or questions down in the comments section. Take care, guys.